So, back at the unit. It's been about a week or so since I've been here. I've been away with work. Reese has been somewhat busy doing a few bits on the jazz. He sent me a couple of pictures of what he's managed to get done. It seems like for the majority it's just been making a massive mess, but he has pushed on. He's taken some of the body panels off, ready to try a hand at wrapping. He's been waiting for the Bosch injectors to turn up. Like I said before, we had some injectors, but they were sort of copies of the Bosch 1000cc injectors, and a lot of mappers won't map unless they've got the genuine Bosch ones on there, which is fair enough. So they've just arrived. Reese is having a look at pinning those now, because they're slightly different plugs to what's on there at the minute. So I'll take you inside now, give you a little update on what Reese has managed to get done, what the next steps are, and probably have a little bit of a tidy up, to be fair. So as you can see, I wasn't exaggerating when I said that Reese has made a bit of a mess. He does like to work in chaos, but he has been getting a good bit done, trying to get the jazz ready for wrapping. He started stripping down the car, got the bumpers off, got the boot off. He's done a little bit of spray in there on the yellow fire extinguisher, probably breaks some sort of rules and regulation, but it looks cool, so we can live with that. Started filling the holes from the old license plates bracket, just to smooth them out because we've got a smaller plate going on the back. Tried his hand there, a little bit of wrapping on the spoiler. Rear bumpers off there, a little bit of filler, but not too much. So yeah, there's the diff, the MX-5. I'm going to be cleaning that up and treating it to a bit of paint shortly. So now Reese is just making a start on getting everything stripped out to fit the new Bosch 1000cc injectors. So he's just starting to remove the old wire loom there. We got in a bit of a kit with some new pigtails because the connectors are slightly different. So that's just what's coming in that box there. Reese has also ordered some thick perspex, which he can use for the hole in the dash from where the stereo used to be. He's then going to mount the boost controller unit on there as well. We are now just going through the process of removing the old connectors and pigtails and fitting the ones that are suitable for the new injectors. You can see here, there's the old clips and the receiving end or the male end of the new injectors. So there's a slight difference in the pin pattern. As you can see, we need to clean the engine bay a little as well, just from all the flaked off paint from the old rock cover, taking it on and off a few times. So Reese is just having to pin these connectors because they come unpinned, just a case of crimping the wire onto the pin and sliding them through the connector plastic housing itself. And as with everything on this build so far, it's always fiddly. It's quite a tight squeeze there to try and get the spring clip on the connector, which holds it onto the injector. However, just as we're finishing up on the first injector with the new swapped over pigtails, we've made a bit of a mistake by forgetting to fit the protective shroud, which covers that extra bit of loom that's now on the circuit. And then trying to rectify that, we've had a bit of an issue where we've pulled the pins out of the connector. You can just about see there when the camera focuses that it's sort of splayed out the crimped area, and you can't get those pins out once not without the correct tool anyway, which we didn't have in the unit. So yeah, a bit of a drama, and new pigtails and clips have now been ordered. So Reese has moved on to the next thing now, take his mind off it a little bit, trying to flatten out where he's filled on the license plate holes. And Reese is just doing a quick structural rigidity test on the rear bumper supports there, but for a near 20-year-old Japanese car. it's not too bad rust-wise. The unit is a little bit tidier. We're moving back on to bodywork. So this is just starting to flatten off the filler not coming in today. And surprise, surprise, another hurdle to get over. So this filler's been going off for a couple of days now. It's supposed to be going off, and as you can see, it is still soft. I don't know if it was a bad batch of filler, or I don't want to point fingers, but Reese did do the hardener and filler mix for this one. So he used that big boy body filler, but perhaps it's no good a little boy using the big boy filler. So I've taken it all off and gone back to the old stuff. So as you can see there, we've been having a little play around with some spray paint. We've done a few test pieces with a vinyl wrap, and it is a nightmare to work with. I don't know if it's because we didn't perhaps go for the most expensive, but Reese has just pulled up a ChatGPT special there, showing what it would look like black. We'd have to go down the route of spraying rather than wrapping, because we haven't got the patience or the skills to carry out a wrap, not in the time frame that Reese wants to get this car finished and out the door. So yeah, there's potential changes in the original plan. But first, a little bit of stuff for my car now. So I'm just going to go through taking back all the rust and bits off the diff and spraying it with some wrinkle paint. I've just filled the bushes with some polyurethane. It's actually a mix of similar. I think it's in between the sort of track and road spec polyurethane used by like Polybush and all the other brands you see online. So hopefully it holds up better than replacing them. They weren't bad bushes to start with, but it just makes them a little bit stiffer. Just prolongs the life, I guess. So I'm just taking it back with a wire wheel now, taking a bit of the rough off, and then I'll get it all prepped, ready to put some black wrinkle paint on. As you can see, there's not much technique with this. You've literally just got to chuck it on thick. Apparently the thicker you put it on without getting runs in it, the better the wrinkle effect takes place. But you're supposed to put a bit of heat into it. We weren't really aware of this. We sort of figured it out with our rocker cover after having a few heat cycles that it wrinkled up really nice. So this has started to wrinkle a few days later, but much better than what it was originally. The replacement pigtails and connector for the injectors have arrived, so Reese is just starting to prep everything to get those fitted. He's going to have to take off the oil filler cap and the attached hoses, so he makes a start on that now and then starts getting the new wiring connected up. So as I said, we've got to take off the oil filler cap and the housing with the pipework. See Reese there struggling to get that off. I must have done that up. So it's on there a bit too tight maybe. You can see they're trying to get that second connector across onto the injectors, just too fiddly with the bottom of the housing from the oil filler cap. So that needs to be removed. So here, Little Red is bringing out Big Red. just to get that cap off so we can pull that housing out of the way and carry on getting this injector issue sorted. Now with all these surrounding ancillaries removed, Reese is pushing on with fitting the shrouds, getting the wiring connected up using just the soldered and heat shrink connectors. Seem to be more than sturdy enough for this application. Just getting those fitted using a lighter just to get the heat shrink activated and the soldered joints all set. With that first one connected, it's just repeat the process 3 more times until all 4 injector connectors are soldered and secured in place. With those 4 connectors all wired in, I've just gone over them now with the fire resistant wiring loom tape just to protect those cables. Back at it with the Honda software now on the laptop, so Reese has just plugged it into the ECU and he's just adjusting all the fuel trims to suit the Bosch 1000cc injectors. Hopefully this solves the issue we're having with off throttle, leaning out, and just general bogging between gear shifts.
There's like a leaker swing on it, that's why it's dropping in voltage. Just because it's sat in the cold.
Yeah. You know, meant to hold charging, you're supposed to trickle charge and go around the fucking track and then.
So have you just said now the fuel trims for the new injectors?
Yeah, completely different to what was in it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Thousands up.
So it might, that whole leaning out after one let off might sort itself out now then?
Hopefully. Just check there's no fuel leaking in the before I take them off.
But we hit it up.
Yeah. Right, was it? What's the pressure on?
3?
Yeah, so. Why not?
No, between 20 and 40, so 30, so that's 2 then. 2 bar 30 gets up. Fire him up, Johnny. Yeah. Fuel pressure.
So as you can see there, after changing those injectors and going from the cheap ones to the proper Bosch ones, the air fuel ratio is bang on, the idle is smooth as standard engine, and the fuel pressure is all exactly where it needs to be. So we're back at the unit today after a day out down Castle Combe yesterday for Spring Action Day. Reese was getting some inspiration for his next build. So I think we experienced all 4 seasons down there throughout the day. It wasn't a bad day, some stunning cars down there. Traffic wasn't too bad getting in and out of there, so can't complain too much. But he's just popped out now to get a hole tapped into the casing of the turbo. He saw a car down there yesterday running a big turbo build which had a slightly different setup for its boost controller and the vacuum line, so he's going to implement that now. If I can show you on the old one what was currently set up, and he's pretty much going to mimic what that was. We currently had the nipple situated on the inlet manifold, so he's now going to move it to, if I show you the last casing, so nipple there on the new one. We hadn't tapped anything into it. This obviously came as standard, and we're pretty much putting it in the same location on the new turbo. So he's pulled that off, left the remainder of the turbo on there, just pulled the housing for the intake side off, but that looks so much better now. It's got that new manifold on there, so much more room. And that's actually, this paint's a bit weird. It's wrinkle paint and it seems to wrinkle about 2 calendar months after spraying it on, but looks a lot better than the yellow, I think, and it's less noticeable when we no doubt scratch it and mark it up. But we've had a drastic change in direction on what we're doing bodywork wise for the Jazz. So a couple £100 worth of vinyl wrap on the floor over there is probably just going to go to waste now. A little indication of what the plan is. Just picked up an orbital sander and Reese has started sanding that down, so that'll be for the next video. We'll have a whole video around bodywork because no doubt it's going to take us a few days to get our head around how to do it properly, or somewhat properly. And there's our top of the line sprayer that's going to be getting used. But the vinyl wrap, I think, a mixture of not going for the full-on £500 a roll stuff and our lack of patience, and yeah, it's more fiddly than what we want really. For the sort of finish this car is going to be, I think we can get to that stage with a bit of DIY spraying, so that'll be in the next video. To finish this video off, I'll insert some clips that I got from yesterday at Spring Action Day. Until next time. Looking for his next project.